Yep, so just like the yeah, so just like the yeah, so just like the Edichrome, so just like the Edichrome, so just like the Edichrome wireless controller, just like the Edichrome controller V2. This is like yeah, so just like the Edichrome controller. Yep, so just like the Edichrome controller V2, we have so just like the Edichrome controller, if you want to use the controller, you will miss lots of function. You just can't use basic function like 1, 2, 3 key poses and time lapse function. There's no any advanced feature just like the sequencer mode I'm using right now. You will set on support mode, so you cannot control this with the controller. So why? This is like a $200 controller, and with a super cheap China smartphone, it's just like $100. So you can just buy a China smartphone for $100, and you can access those more advanced feature. So this is kind of weird. I bought Okay, so this controller is pretty weird too because the function is so basic. We can only do just 3 key poses and just go back and forth between two, and also time lapse. There's no any other advanced feature like tracking mode or like the sequence mode I'm using right now. If you use these mode and so it's pretty much the same over here on the controller. So wired control is pretty much the same. So this is the so this is Edichrome controller V2, and this is the Edichrome controller V2. The function is so basic. You just have 3 key poses. You can go from A to B, and also time lapse function, just basic time lapse function. Just so this is the Edichrome. So this is the Edichrome controller V2. This is just kind of. So this is the Edichrome. So this is the Edichrome controller V2. So this is the Edichrome controller V2. So this is the Edichrome controller V2. The function is so basic. You can only do key poses and time lapse, and it's basic time lapse, no any advanced feature. So no any tracking or like the sequencer mode I'm using right now. If you use these mode and come back to the controller, it will set on support mode. Use the Edichrome app. So this controller is $200, and we cannot use all the function of the Edichrome system. What the heck? So yep. So if we are yep. So if we start the yep. So if we start a complex movement. Yep, so if we start a complex movement, we can't even stop with the Edichrome controller. We need to use your app to stop the stop the action. So if we so if we so if we use complex movement, so if we set up a complex movement, the app so if we set up a complex movement, the So if we set up a complex movement like this, a controller can't even stop the motion. We need to take out our smartphone. It's freaking out right now. Jesus Christ.